After this video, you will understand why this is a better way to invest than that. Because there are two ways to understand the crypto market, and we will see with a real case study with a coin that I think we find a great investor that we can copy, and I will also tell you how you can use this in dating. I know it might seem strange now, but let's dive in. So the first one is, of course, the regular technical analysis, which is basically analyzing what's happening on the chart with the prices. We have few different indicators. So of course, how much the price was it when it opened, when it closed, and the volume. Then we can use different graphs to have more information. And people like to troll about this with tons of drawing, or here we have a boat, a Titanic probably. I don't know, but that's fun. Now this method is quite time consuming, and also it doesn't leverage on something that is unique to crypto. As crypto is an open ledger, I can see all the transactions. So what does it mean? When I know all the transactions, if you give me your Bitcoin address or your Ethereum address, I can know roughly for each token, for everything, how much you spend on it. Are you in profit now? Are you in losses? I can know how many times you trade, and I can even know how much of a good investor you are or not. And this is all depending if you subscribe to this channel or not, I guess. For example, of Bitcoin, which is the oldest blockchain, right? We have three data here. The pricing, the black line, as you can see, the short-term holders. So we can call them Joe, but basically the guy that's not gonna have a girlfriend. But basically Joe is always investing when the market is going up. You see, it goes up and he's investing at the top. So we can know here, because those addresses of Bitcoin, they receive the Bitcoin and we know when they move. So if they move fast, that's a short-term holder. He's not holding for long. And we have in dark blue, the long-term holders. It means they got their crypto, they send it to their wallet, they don't touch it for a while. And those guys know how to invest a bit more than the short-term holder. As we can see, there's always a difference when there's a spike of short-term holders. Long-term holders are dumping. Yeah, they're selling it to Joe for a high price. And we see it happening here. Now I'm talking about this, but I'm not the perfect guy. I got wrecked so many times on bear market, but I hold on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that's all right. And that limits a lot of the loss. And of course, I'm still in good gains. Now what we can see here is that we started to have the same pattern again, where it goes the other side. The short-term holders are leaving the market and the long-term holders started to accumulate. So that's probably why we see a price going up now. And before diving into a real example, how you can see how you can profit from this, because we already saw one actually, let me do a proper comparison between technical analysis and on-chain analysis. We call it on-chain because it's on the blockchain, as we can read all the blocks. So the technical analysis is old, it's proven, it can work in certain ways. 95% of the people are retards with it, probably 99% on YouTube. I'm probably part of one of them. Can be good for price action. The good thing is you can put some trading algorithm, and there's tons of wrong patterns that people use, Fibonacci waves and things like that. I heard they're bullshit. I'm not an expert at all on technical analysis. However, on-chain is a new thing. No other investment vehicles ever offered this possibility. In real estate, you can know a little bit who is owning what, but you can't know exactly for how much they bought the property. You can't see when they are selling a property. You don't have all those insights. When here, this is the first investment where we can see all the transactions. So it works on any type of coins. It's more detective style because we can spy others and get really good inspiration. That's what we're going to do just next. And we can know who trade, for how much they trade. We can have tons of informations. I know some of you are just here to know about the dating tips, but that's not what we're going to talk about now. Let's take an example with TokenSight. That's a token that we talked about in a previous video. We're not here to talk about what is it going to pump or not. We don't care. Here, I can see all the transactions that happen, but what's going to interest me is to see the top holders, because the one who have a big bag can influence the market, and if they arrived early or earlier than me, they probably have some more information than I do. When I scroll down, I'm looking for a personal user. Here we can see that big holders have like 100K to 200K of this token. And some of them, if they interacted with OpenSea or other, or they have a Ethereum address. Of course, we're going to look for a big holder. That's what is amazing. Can you imagine you go at a conference and you can see in the room on top of their head exactly how much money they have, how much money they invested. For me, this I just love this. So I'm going to get, for example, Roger Lim that have 70K invested. When I check Roger Lim, our good old Roger, I'm going to go straight to profit and loss. How much money you made? And I can see that he made a bloody 7.5 million. That's insane. That's really good. I can have the daily. Let's go on daily. Let's see if recently he's doing well or not. 1 month. Okay, it's pretty flat, but because he have 6 million in his portfolio, this bad boy. And then he may mark a loss. Now he have different assets in his portfolio. Bit, I don't know this one. We can see TokenSight, what we talked about before. BNB, Derp, I don't really know those one. And another thing that is interesting for me here is I can see that it was an early holder in a lot of interesting coins. Like what we get, Link, that was a famous coin. We get Poly, that one pretty good as well. What we have, Sushi. Roger is being early on tons of crypto. That's an interesting point. And I could even go further and check his Twitter account. Do we have a Roger Lee? Yeah, Roger Lim, only 200 followers. So probably if I was asking him a question about what are the investment he did, I would have some informations. And I could just follow to know when he's selling his TokenSight. That's pretty cool, right? I can visualize as well all the transaction, what he did. Let's see, who are you, Roger? Roger likes to interact with Uniswap. That's normal. We just expected this. I can see a co-swap, so we really need to dig into that because that's not the first time. Kyber network, and then he sent to few people. Interesting. Unibot, he used Unibot. Okay. Now, of course, I wouldn't say that he gave me all the answers, and there's one trap. Is when you like a coin, and I've been falling in this trap, is that you start to try to find everything to validate your own opinion. And that's the worst. You have to be able to zoom out, take 2 steps back, and really analyze it like if it was the stupidest person that presents you this investment and you try to take it down. Honestly, that would help. And if I did that, I'll probably avoided few losses. For me, that's for me using this and seeing what they invested in recently, what they did, and I can create some alerts, help me to give me an insight about where should I look first in all those crypto. And it's the same in dating, for example. Most of the guys will just use Tinder. And we talked about it. They can't compete on it. And they will be judging what they see, which is exactly if you were doing technical analysis, you're just judging by what you see on the surface. But now, what we can do here is study what's below so we can know what are they in, where they go often, what they like to do. And that's where it's interesting. Let's take, for example, you want someone who is active. Then, where should you go? You want to go to that place. You're going to check all the yoga studio, find where they have the best ones, see who is tagged in it. You study all that. And this is going to help you to know where you should go. And you could even just interact like that. It's the same in crypto. And that's something that we actually kind of talked about the other day when we studied one of the best bots on the crypto market that is doing a really good job. And you can check the video here because you will understand how you can copy it. And actually we found an investment fund that we should really study all the cryptos underneath. I didn't have time yet, but it's going to be in the process. Mark down in the comments if you want that. And let me know. I will see you in the next one. Stay handsome. Ciao.